Morning everyone, how you doing? Welcome back to the garden room DIY-ery. I thought I'd have a little chat with you today about the design of the garden room. It's been raining for the last couple of days, so that's kind of held things up a bit. So everything's gone on hold for a little while, and it's got me thinking a bit more about the design and where I'm taking this thing. The first thing is colour. I've been thinking, I'm gonna have a little coffee actually. is the colour of it, and naturally I've done loads of research on garden rooms, and there's so many beautiful garden rooms out there, but I do find that the vast majority of them are quite similar, you know, either with cedar cladding or dark cladding. Yeah, I mean, they're all pretty much standard, quite formulaic, and I want to kind of break away from that a little bit. And I feel that being a garden, it can be a bit more exciting. You know, it's outdoors. I also think in the winter, when the garden's sort of a bit more barren of colour, well, why not introduce it into the garden room? You recall the climbing frame I built over there. Do excuse this atrocious trampoline. So many of us have got them, haven't we? But I was going to sink it into the ground, but I thought, do I really want to dig out that amount of earth for a trampoline? And then when they don't use the trampoline, I've got a hole in the ground. So no, I don't. So eventually then, well, they'll grow out of that, and you know, you got to suck it up as a parent sometimes. Anyway, I digress. That there is the climbing frame I built in lockdown 1. And I really love the horizontal slatting on it. It's quite architectural, got the window feature running through it, and you've got lovely turquoise colouring. So I think, because I'm going to be seeing the garden room from the house behind me, it would be nice to see another pop of colour through the climbing frame there, and a colour that will also complement the climbing frame. So there you go, that's a little teaser there as to what I'm thinking about. So if you come with me up the garden Le Jardin, I'll take you to my little HQ where I've been doing lots of thinking. Also, it's given me a chance, you know, this rain situation that we've got going on here. Oh, and good news, by the way, I'm going back to work. So in about 2 or 3 weeks, I'm going to be getting on a plane again. I can't believe I'm saying it. And I'm going to be flying to Spain and filming, which is brilliant. But given the rain and given the fact that I'm going away, it does make me feel like I've got to get this weatherproofed before I go. So I've covered it in loads of tarp at the moment. I've just swept it off, covered in water. Want to get it weatherproof because it's OSB underneath, which isn't, you know, it's water resistant, but it's not waterproof. So I want to get that covered up as soon as possible. This is as far as I got with the construction the other day. I built the shed section, so I'm waiting for some timber to arrive again today. I think it's going to rain again, and then I'll carry on with the walls. But anyway, in the meantime, my head has been absolutely spinning with ideas. I even woke up this morning, I literally, no word of a lie, woke up with the idea for the lighting in my head, and I want the design of this to be colourful. I want it to be playful, I want it to be light-hearted, I want it to be fun, I want it to be a joy to work in, I want it to be inspirational and uplifting. There you go, that's my brief for the room. So in terms of flooring inside, I want it to have a modern utilitarian feel. The flooring inside is either going to be rubber or it's going to be vinyl. This is what I've been looking at. I've had a few samples sent to me here, but this is the one I'm really keen on. It's salt dean colour, and it's a vinyl. So again, it echoes the climbing frame behind me colour-wise. That's for the floor. For the walls, I want to go with the birch plywood. So very, very light, fresh walls, bouncing as much natural daylight around as possible. I've got a 1 metre square skylight going in. I've got a huge picture window, and I just want to really maximise on the daylight. I don't really have to want to use artificial light all that much at all, you know. Although there will be artificial light in there, I don't want to have to rely on it. So let's really bounce the light around with lovely birch ply on there. Now here comes the shocker. In fact, you can see there's a bit of a tease. Was that the right colour? Anyway, the shocker is the cladding on the outside is going, well look, climbing frame colour. And that's what I'm thinking for the cladding colour on the exterior. So a real burnt orange, really, really rich burnt orange, complementing the climbing frame. I'm actually going to go for what is called rain screen cladding, which means you've got gaps between the vertical cladding boards. Okay, so you'll have this lovely bright orange cladding, and then in between you'll have very dark black gaps going down. Then when we get to the rear of the structure, we get to the shed area. So to complement this beautiful orange cladding, I don't know, it might be a bit Marmite, you might not like it, but I just think it's really exciting. And I just want to do exciting things. I don't want to do run of the mill, I don't want to do ordinary, I want to do fun. So that's what I'm going with. All the edges of these upright timbers here, and well, in fact the whole of that framework for the shed, I'm going to be painting the edges. Now I'm deciding right now between painting it in this turquoisey coloured on the edge or painting it black, because, and now this isn't the polycarbonate sheet I'm holding up here, but it is acrylic and it's pretty clear. It'll give you an idea that when that does go against that, you're going to see it, you're going to see that colour coming through. It might be a little bit more diffused than that, but that is generally the idea behind that. I might do it black, it might look quite Japanese actually, which is also quite nice. Yeah, I mean in terms of lighting inside, so I've got the birchwood walls, birch ply walls, I've got the lovely vinyl or rubber floor going down. Ceiling's going to be birch ply as well. I'm going to have an inbuilt bench seat running right across the back, a recessed shelf above that. In fact, you can see here, this section here, where I've only built the wall up 3/4 height, that's because the shelf is going to project backwards in there. So we're going to have all the lovely design books up there and all design paraphernalia, let's call it that. And then the bench seat is going to run under here. It's going to be a bit more than a seat because I'm going to make it a little bit deeper for snoozing on, which will be nice. In terms of lighting, I want to keep it really simple. I don't want to be fussy. I'll probably go for some black accessories, which is kind of the moment. So I'll probably have black plastic, I'm going to go plastic, black plastic light switches, and very simple black or coloured, I don't know, probably black, I don't know, I'm still making my mind up, fittings. So a pendant fitting up here to the right above the desk, literally just hanging down on a coloured cord, a beautiful bare bulb, like a Plumen bulb, something like that. Just a single light hanging over the desk. If I need more than that, I can buy myself a really stylish angle poise lamp, and that will do. I also might put either side bare bayonet fixings with, again, Plumen bulbs, something similar to that, on the wall, just in case I need more light. Around the skylight, which is going to be here metre square, I'm going to recess. This is probably going to be my main light actually for the room, but I'm going to recess all the way around the perimeter of that skylight an LED strip, diffused, so it'll just have a nice diffused covering all the way over it, but that will light up. And so at night it's kind of as if the skylight is still there and the skylight is still being celebrated. So that's how I will deal with that, and that kind of wraps up where I'm at the moment. But one thing I would say as well is that, you know, the fact that it's a garden room, you want to be able to go in there. It's going to be warm and cozy anyway, but the nice thing about the rubber flooring and the vinyl flooring is that it is soft underfoot, so it's going to be really comforting. Just kick your shoes off, especially when I couple it with electric underfloor heating, which sounds stupidly extravagant, but really it isn't, because it's 7 square meters, so it's not a big space. It's probably going to cost in the region of £200 to £300 in terms of materials, so I think that's pretty reasonable. I'm going to be able to control it by my phone as well, so that's really handy, so I can get up in the morning, set it to come on when I'm ready to go out and work. Yeah, and that really is it. In terms of the windows, the doors for the garden room, they're going to be black. They're going to mirror the house down there, so almost, well, black aluminium. And that is it. That is where I'm at. My head is just like, it's full of ideas at the moment, and they keep changing every 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 seconds. And it's the exciting stage of things actually, but it's also, I'm itching. I'm just like itching to get it all done. Not that I'm not enjoying the process, it's just that I can't wait to see the finished result. But obviously I'm quite a few weeks away from that, and things might slow down a bit as well, just because I'm going to be going back to work. So there you go. That's my little design chat, my little design ramble, and I think my coffee's now gone cold. So I'll catch you in a bit. Oh, and I always forget this, don't I? Please remember to click the subscribe button and follow my garden DIY-ery. Garden room DIY. I always get that wrong, blooming heck. This is my own channel, I can't remember the name. Right, Ben's Backyard Builds, the garden room DIY-ery.